Nawaal Akram is the founder of Muscular Dystrophy Qatar. Nawaal is a comedian, a model, and a disability rights advocate. She was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy at the age of 6. She is only 19 years young and founder of Muscular Dystrophy Qatar. I will leave it to Nawaal to share her story of how her and I met, as she tells it much better with a sweet twist. Nawaal is anything but disabled. Rather, she is definitely able on all counts and inspires me every single day. Welcome to this stage, Nawaal Akram. Thank you.
Doha Women's Forum, give me some noise! Louder! Can't hear you. Louder one more time. Woo. I would like to first give a bigger round of applause to all the women who came here and spoke. You're attending. Please give a round of applause for all of yourselves. All right? And we're all here for the main cause here, for the free food. Thank you, the Women's Forum, for the free food. And let me introduce myself. Who am I? Why am I even here? So let me introduce myself. I'm a stand-up comedian who can't stand up. I'm Doha's first wheelchair model and comedian. And I'm also one of the 100 most influential women in the world by BBC 2017. Thank you. So let me tell my background, where I started and how I came here. So as she said, I was diagnosed at 6 years old with muscular dystrophy, and one of the things that happened while I was in school, the things that happened, say this is 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, that time accessibility in Doha was not a very big thing that was being committed in. And the school, my parents noticed I used to walk. I didn't roll out of the womb. I didn't roll out of the womb on a wheelchair. No, I used to walk. And the school couldn't facilitate me. And I went for this new year for school. I was going to year 5. And when I went in the registry, I'm looking for my name. And it wasn't there, right? And the school principal took us aside. They're like, we're sorry, we can't keep Nawaal. She has a physical disability. She's a hazard to the school. We don't want to take the responsibility. And my parents' initial reaction was, we're going to take them to court. And once they heard that, they're like, if you go to court, we'll take out your 5 other children in the school. And 2 of my siblings were about to graduate that year. And knowing that because of me, all of my other siblings' education was on the line, it's quite selfish that I would say, yeah, let's do this. So we didn't. And we went to different schools around Doha. And one of the things I noticed in schools that they lack understanding that just because you're physically disabled, you don't need a special education. You need a freaking ramp. So that's a very bad thing that I noticed in schools, that they're confusing a physical disability with a mental disability. So basically, I was special for normal schools, but not special enough for special schools. Well, isn't that the irony? So right after that, while trying to find for different schools in Doha, I was 12 years old, and having disease that makes my body weak in the first place with this aggressive muscle disease or condition, whatever. What I noticed was that it would make my bones weak, and then I broke my left leg, and then the surgery went wrong. So having a disease and then breaking a bone and the surgery going wrong was not a very good combination. So first I had this invisible disability that I would walk in public, like in malls, in schools, in shops, and I would get mocked by complete strangers, or even in school that they thought I was walking a certain way on purpose. And then suddenly having physical disability was a very big change in my life, because I'm so used to doing things by myself, and suddenly I have to wait for someone to fetch me water, get me things. I might be in bed and something might be right across the table, but I would have to wait and to someone else to bring it. So I started mourning for this life that I once had, this independence that I lost. And naturally, even the society and community-wise, disability is still a taboo subject. And then now it's gotten better. It's gotten better. It's not as worse as before, but it's gotten better. But that timing, it was not something common to see a girl with a disability out in public, or even anyone with a disability. The most you would see was elderly. And so 2 years, because of that whole situation, I ended up being at home for like 2 years. I wasted that time. Because now I look back, I really wasted the time. I was pitying myself. I was mourning for this life that I once had. I was just couldn't accept these changes. And I think that is something that we all do. That is something that we hold on to things in our past that just brings us pain. And I don't think if something is causing you pain and they're in your past, it doesn't deserve to be in their present. So by 14, what happened was that I really don't know, what clicked in me, because my parents were done with searching with schools, because while trying to get my education and then going on wheelchair, and I was not actually depressed from the wheelchair, not at all. It actually made me more confident. I was only depressed and suicidal because of the way the community around me was interacting, not because of the disability. It was the community. And then naturally, my parents were like, go do what you want, Nawaal. We understand what's going on, we'll go work. And what I started getting to social media, and that was the time that I learned about technology. There's this organization called MADA here, and they provide assistive technology to people with disabilities. So I learned about technology and arts, and I started going on social media. And one of the things that I realized that social media is such a powerful tool to connect with people, to share information. And what I realized that no one was talking about educational issues for people with disabilities, either children or adults, or just generally about disability. There was no conversation going on. And and through social media, when I started connecting and trying to raise awareness, you talk about you want to improve the world, but are you taking any actions to make it better? We need more people using social media to share about the issues in our society. As once we are more aware of them, we know how to tackle these issues and find towards a solution. And we can come together to find a solution. Being an influencer, or even on social media, is more than posting a photo with an expensive coffee, car, or bag. Are you using it in a useful way to make the world better? I know way too many influencers that are posting photos of makeup shoots, expensive cars, bags, but that's not the reality. I think a lot of people forget that what's being posted on social media is not reality, it's just entertainment. But we mistake this entertainment as a reality, as an actual lifestyle. The thing is, vulnerability is super hard. We don't want to come off vulnerable on social media, but that's what makes us human. It's normal not to be happy every single day. And it's as long as you don't start believing the negative things our brain tells us, even if I post about being myself in salons or exhibitions, how can I turn this on? Can I get some? Oh, wait. Where's the photo showing? Left side or right side? Can I get some help from technician? This is a bit awkward moment, I get this, because I'm like randomly clicking around. No. So this is me posting about, I was at an exhibition, right? And, wait, let me scroll through. Oh, wait. It's fine, we'll let it go. So there was a photo that I was at the exhibition that same day. All right, it's fine. We'll just go with this flow. So basically, because I wanted to show that, vulnerability is really hard. We don't want to showcase our bad days on social media, but I think people in media don't realize that once we do showcase them, people who are watching you feel more connected to you. They want to know more. They don't feel alone. They know that someone else feels like them. It's relatability. And that's what media can do, but the only thing that's being constantly show, I think for the past a month or this year, is that coffee burger, coffee burger. And I think a lot of people in marketing know this. And the thing is, they're not seeing genuine humans. And that's why people are losing trust of people in the media. They're like, all of these influencers are the same, all these marketing strategies are the same. But once we showcase them that people are like them, that's it, relatable, people want to connect more with brands. One of the reasons I became so involved in media was because I saw the underrepresentation of people with disabilities in the media, whether it's fashion, shows, TV hosts, the list can go on, and one of them was comedy. And for me, comedy is something that really helped me overcome and understand struggles better. I like to use my dark humor, which is maybe people feel awkward to laugh on it, but it's something that when you accept yourself, you are okay with making fun of these little things in your life, or even going through a trauma in your life. Because once we more accept that, if you know you have accepted something, when you're able to joke about it, when you're able to joke about an experience, you know you have accepted it and moved on. One of the things that happened, that I joined stand-up comedy Qatar when I was 16, and I ended up performing all around Qatar to Middle East. And one of the things I got to showcase that, other than sitting down looking good, I can be funny also. And that gave me a chance to showcase disability and even talk about, through humor, I got to connect with people. They actually came and asked me questions, and I feel like that's what we need in our communities. We need communication, because once we create a dialogue, we understand each other better. And that was also the time that I got, the first time I was published, that I became Qatar's first stand-up comedian who can stand up. That knowing that we are all alike when it comes to laughter and pain, because we at the end of the day, we need to laugh at ourselves, because regardless of our cultures, religions, background, we are all alike when it comes to laughter and pain. In 2016, what happened was that it's very weird that it was through comedy I got approached for modeling. And one of the things that I was dealing with, that they didn't want to showcase the wheelchair. They were like, nah, we don't think it's a good idea. And through that, what happened was that rejecting brands, there was finally one that approached. They were like, hey, we're okay with showing the wheelchair, and maybe some of you might know about it. It's Vanilla Couture. It's a Qatari brand in Qatar. And the thing is that happens that brands in the Middle East need to be encouraged to experiment. Brands and even marketing, they need to be encouraged, because once we showcase more of a diverse community in the media, people are willing to trust this brand because they accept everyone, right? So we feel more connected to them. And one of the things that happened, that this brand that I worked with, I have worked with them multiple times now, and their photos went viral. They went on BBC, they went on CNN, it went in Miami, UK, Germany. Their photos were showcased all around the world. And that's what people forget to realize, that if you're looking for content creators and you want to support a good community, go to the disability community, because you are guaranteed you'll get something that's original, good in PR, and you get a very creative photos out of it. In 2016, I became the founder of Muscular Dystrophy Qatar. I started the first support group in Qatar for parents, children, and caregivers for adults with muscular dystrophy. I also started an art project with Maria, a fine art photographer. We wanted to showcase the beauty of disability in the culture and society. The project is made for the community, by the community. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean for the community, by the community? Is that we have makeup artists, designers, or people who just want to give their time and help in it. And what the photos that we create, let me see. I'll give an example of this photo that, can I get the help from the technician? I wanted to show, I think it was showing before. There was a photo. Basically, I posted on social media that we're doing a shoot in the swimming pool. We need flowers. Can anyone find and give them to us? And there was this flower shop that saw the post and sent us up to 200 flowers. Yeah, so these are like 200 flowers bunched up together. And someone just saw the post and believed in the idea and just gave us flowers. And that shows how the community, if they can come together, they can create something really beautiful. And that was the same time that I was published on BBC Worldwide. And we got to show, this is the same brand that I worked with. And this was a chance that I got to show all of the, because I have been contacted by marketing agencies, to brands, to work with them for free, and they were very disrespectful. And or they just didn't want to do anything that was showcasing too much of my disability. And this gave them a chance because they didn't work with me, and the brands that did, those brands went viral. This was on BBC News. You know what I think the solution is to improve? For me, solutions involve doing things like speaking in the system and things in our culture that are wrong, with the hope that others will join us too. People think that makes me brave. I'm not brave, of course. I know that speaking out will have consequences, and I feel like it's my purpose to speak the truth. I'm too sweet. I can't sugarcoat, you know? Because justice shouldn't be an option. We should already have justice. As a comedian, one of the comedians that I watched since I was 11 growing up was Fluffy. He was visiting here in 2018, but the festival organizer who brought him here didn't put disabled seatings in the arrangements. And many people didn't want me to speaking up about it because as an entertainer, that might jeopardize my career in future in comedy. But I realized that my silence, me being silent about this serious human rights violation, would have no benefits. And I ended up doing it. I went on social media. I posted about that we need disabled seatings. It's not available. And with the support of the community, the organizers got involved. And what ended up happening? We ended up disabled seatings, and I got to watch Fluffy. So things happen when you take action. And the thing is, in our community, we need action. We have enough people who do a lot of talking. Are you taking action in your community to make things happen? Because I feel like that's the only way we can improve the world, or just our community, is by actions, not by words. Having a disability is that sometimes I do get disrespected in the workforce. I don't get taken seriously. While I have a Wikipedia page in Arabic right now. I got contacted from France, and they're putting my Wikipedia in French. And it got updated in Arabic. So one of the things, I have a bunch of qualifications under me. And what I realized that the thing is sometimes what we tolerate is what we accept. And if you tolerate people disrespecting you, that's going to keep happening. Because being honest and tolerating disrespect, when you don't tolerate being disrespected and demanding your respect, people who are the best for you will work with you. And if you truly believe in your work, you wouldn't be seeing yourself as a competition with others. Focusing on my work instead of others has led my work being showcased around the world. And that's the thing we need to do. We need to focus on ourselves instead of seeing ourselves as a competition with others. We need to be honest with ourselves, because if we aren't honest, we can end up cheating ourselves on a chance to improve ourselves. Thank you. I met Elizabeth. Do you want to tell us? You swept me off my feet in the first meeting.
I swept her off her feet, literally, trying to get her into a 4x4 car. It was quite hard. It was quite difficult. We met outside a mosque on the Pearl, Qatar.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
First time.
Yeah. This Ramadan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Ramadan.
So we had an issue in that her driver didn't come to pick her up, but we needed to get her from one mosque to another, and the only way to do that was to literally sweep her off her feet. So it was me and a couple of other guys from the mosque huddling her into the car, and it was then that I realized exactly what it's like a day in the life of Nawaal. And you have all my respect and all my inspiration. I'm just so inspired by you, and if I can be half the person you are now.
You swept me off my feet in the first meeting. Even a man cannot do that in the first meeting. What to do, man?
I tried my best. We then met afterwards for the podcast that you saw the picture of earlier, and now I'm just inspired by you every day, and I hope that we'll have more and more of these meetings. Please give it up for Nawaal Akram, everybody.
Great.